If you want to help Myth Vision Podcast grow, you can join our Patreon. There are different tiers, as well as help out with PayPal. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Christian Larac, I believe. Larac. I don't know if you know that name. Like Tovia says, Dr. Price, why would a Pharisee go to Damascus under orders from the Sadducees, who had no jurisdiction there to persecute the members of the way, when Paul was supposedly a student of Rabbi Gamaliel? Again, when the rabbi said, don't persecute then, if it's by God, it will last. If it's not, it will fade away. And the Jewish Christianity did fade away. So I'd like Dr. Bob's opinion on that.
Yeah, he's right. Many critical scholars like Ernst Henkin have pointed out decades ago that no matter whether Paul was a Sadducee or a Pharisee, he wouldn't have had jurisdiction. The Sanhedrin would not have had jurisdiction outside of Palestine. And so that just doesn't make sense historically, but it's part of Luke's agenda to have everything go back to Jerusalem. And also, I think the notion of Paul as a persecutor of Christians is apocryphal. I think it's a misunderstanding of the gripe of Jewish Christians that Paul was the enemy of the faith. That is, he was a non-Torah Christian, and for them that was a contradiction in terms. This guy, he's got this bastardized form of the Christian faith. He's battling against it, like Saul, why kickest thou against the goads? But later on, they didn't understand that, and people thought, oh, well, he was a non-Christian persecuting Christians per se. But as J.C. O'Neill showed, that a number of the places where Paul's persecuting past is mentioned are textually dubious, and they don't fit the context. It looks like there are insertions and so on. And plus there's this thing in Romans 16 which implies he had relatives who were in the Christian mission before him, and it makes you wonder if he was just following in the footsteps of his family and wasn't converted. Plus, the narrative of his conversion is based on the conversion of King Pentheus against his will to the cult of Dionysus, which he had persecuted. And also the story in 2 Maccabees 3 of Heliodorus, an agent of the Seleucid emperor who sent him down to steal all the money out of the Jewish temple treasury. And he wasn't able to do it because angels appeared who knocked him off his horse and blinded him. And he remained blinded until Jewish elders came to pray over him to recover, which he did, and then went back home and started testifying to what had happened. Come on. And this is from Euripides the Bacchae and from 2 Maccabees. There's no way Luke would not have known of them. And there's so many parallels. And no conversion story is ever told in any of the so-called Pauline epistles, though, again, the persecution business was. But I think he's right that that was not originally in these texts. Oh, that's right. Was there something else about the thing?
Jurisdiction and the Rabbi Gamaliel.
Why would Gamaliel? Yeah, the notion that Paul had been a student of Gamaliel is equally fictitious in all probability, especially since that meeting with him warning the Sanhedrin is just taken right out of, again, Euripides the Bacchae, where it's I believe, the blind prophet Tiresias that warns King Pentheus, look, this may be of God. You don't want to be found fighting against God. And it just seems like the whole thing is, plus it's got these anachronisms. It mentions Theudas and then Judas of Galilee, whereas the order was reversed, and Theudas appeared 10 years later than Jesus, and he wasn't a precedent. So it's not real historical evidence. So the rabbi is right. All of that is malarkey.